9. Well, of course, the Vodafone New Zealand Music Awards still to come later on this year, November. But last night they announced some of the technical winners, but also the finalists and the Legacy Award winner. Every year, a band is honoured with the Legacy Award. Last night, it was announced that Dragon have taken out this esteemed title, and it's a good time to catch up with one of the members of Dragon, Todd Hunter, joining me in the Kiwi studio. Hello, Todd.
Hey, how are you?
Very, very good.
Great.
And you've travelled over from Australia.
Just for a couple of days.
Yeah. Australia's been home for a long time now, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
Many decades.
Since not
75.
Since 70. Wow.
Yeah.
Because the band was formed in 73.
That's correct.
Almost
formed in 72 and we started playing in 73.
Almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in New Zealand was it formed?
In Hamilton. And we used to play at actually, our first job was playing 24 hours a day on a commune.
Oh, really?
For a bunch of Americans.
Wow.
And the music that we played, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's very
go on,
incriminating.
please.
And the music we played, there were no songs. It was a jamming band, like an acid jamming band.
I can imagine that Indian influenced sitar type stuff.
Yes, sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. And then from there it became more of a conventional band until we ended up the pop item that you know.
Yeah, what an evolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did it take, did you have to get out of Hamilton to
get out of Hamilton?
Yeah, get out of Dodge.
We did. We were going somewhere. We knew not where. And with New Zealand, we migrated to Auckland. Couldn't get jobs and started working as a workman-like band in clubs where you'd play covers and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of Kiwi bands start like that, playing covers,
yeah.
and then find their own sound and flavour.
That's right, and I still remember where we made sat down and made that weighty decision, okay, we're going to have to play our own songs and, live or die by the sword.
Yeah.
And of course, no work happened at all from that, because no one wants to hear songs they don't know.
Yeah. That's the eternal problem.
It is. And then we just sort of flummoxed around and thrashed around in different directions and changed as different members joined. Went to Australia and then imported the songwriting genius Paul Hewson. Yeah. Which I didn't really know him, but you sort of had the feeling he could write great songs. I'd never heard anything that he'd done. Yeah. And he did. He just started writing these pop gems.
And so that's where Dragon really took off, was Australia. It was. Yeah. It didn't really happen here first at all. But we lay claim to you continuously, That's Dragon, right. New Zealand band.
We are Kiwis. You can't get away from that.
Yeah.
But no, we travelled around a lot in New Zealand, and we ran out of places to play at that stage. It's not like it is now.
That's easy. That's easy to do. Back then. Yeah. Run out of places.
And so we had to go, and we were actually heading to Canada. We got as far as Bondi, and it was beautifully sunny. And someone said, yes, Canada. It's minus 27 in Toronto today. Yeah. I said, well, okay, this is it. Yeah. Yeah.
And did you ever make it to Cuba? Yeah,
no.
No.
That April Sun in Cuba was Paul's song about a chess tournament that happened in Cuba. Yeah. And I think it was either Boris Spassky or Bobby Fischer. It was Bobby Fischer lost, and he said the reason he lost is because he was distracted by the April Sun in Cuba.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Well, that's kind of refreshing in some ways, really. Yeah. So that means that the listener can take whatever they want from the song, and
as with all good songs, you can actually. Yeah. It means different things to different people.
The sound of Dragon, of course, back then very distinctive. The sound from the instruments and the recording is very much of the time, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it was a big struggle in those days to make it sound as big as it did live. Yeah. There was a big disconnect between what happened on the records and what happened live. Live, it was this roaring, anarchic thing. And when you heard it coming out through the radio, it was like a bunch of ants playing these tiny little instruments. And polite, But interestingly enough, recently I got some of the early Dragon albums and put them on to the stuff in the studio, which is a great turntable and these huge old tannoy speakers. Mm. And it suddenly made sense. When you listen to it on vinyl, you could figure out what's going on.
Everyone sees, of course, the whole vinyl thing. You get that warmth coming through, but I think that would have also have come from the recording process, the analogue recording process itself?
Yeah, that's right. And there was always a big disconnect between playing live, which was this rude bunch of ugly guys playing this raucous
You guys
pop
were...
music.
I'm just looking at the April Sun in Cuba music video now. A bunch of handsome chaps.
I
Very well dressed.
I beg to differ, myself.
Nice long hair.
Long hair, yes. I mean, look at that.
You look shampooed.
What the hell were we thinking?
But it was the look of the times, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah,
You
that's right.
really fitted in with a lot of the other
Yes,
big
everyone
bands.
looked like that.
Yeah, they did.
I do remind myself sometimes when I think, oh man, when you look at that, I think, well, hang on, the whole landscape was like that. Flares.
And I mean, you've still got a good head of hair now, but, you know, many men had to hold on to what they had as for as long as they could, right?
That's right. It was a war of attrition of the receding hairline.
Was there a lot of pressure at the time from record companies to be a certain way or conform to what they wanted?
They wanted us to be marketable, which we were sort of unmanageable and unmarketable. So they did their best with us, but we were pretty mad. This is in the 70s I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We staged our very own Fall of Rome.
Yeah.
Basically.
Sex, drugs and rock and roll?
Yeah, I think that was what it's called.
Yeah.
I was terrified for that whole decade. It was just far too real for me. People were dying, and I was a catastrophist in those days. And I think, okay, what's the worst? Going into the situation, what's the worst that could happen here? Okay, yes, I've got that covered. Okay, we get into it, and then something about 40 times worse would happen. So I didn't have a great time in the 70s.
And so throughout that time, there was always the risk that the band was just going to fall apart?
Yes, it was always, every gig was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. We were carrying our own gear, which is sort of like what we're doing now. It was mad, and it got more and more dangerous, and more self-inflicted harm was happening.
Yeah.
Until the end of the 70s, we actually fired Mark because he was doing so much damage to himself.
Yeah.
Which was a really dumb thing to do. What we should have done, had we been able to see out of the bubble, was say, okay, we're just going to have a year off here, and then we'll get back together and just keep playing, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah. Well, so some kind of sense and business mind sort of really did get in there and pull things together at some point.
No, well, it was always chaotic with our band. It was never a career band. It was just a bunch of idiots sort of searching through for the rubble for more music.
But then you wouldn't have been the band. You wouldn't have been Dragon without that chaos, surely.
Yeah, that's right. The chaos was a very big part of it in those early days.
Because you say okay, the 70s wasn't a good time for you, but does that mean you can't look back on it with any kind of fondness?
There is a sort of a fondness to it, but it's also tinged with how dangerous it was. And, you know, my problem in the 70s is that I was sober, you know, and I couldn't join in with all that hilarity and madness and sort of.
It was sort of all swirling around you.
It was, yeah, and I was the guy that they hid it all away from, you know, because I get incredibly angry.
Yeah.
But the 80s was better. I enjoyed that more, where it was much more of a playing band, and people like Tommy Emmanuel and a bunch of Americans played with us. And we'd spent a long time in Europe with Tina Turner. 90s was something else again, where I had to sort of withdraw because I was doing soundtrack work, which brings us all the way back to now, where it's reformed, and we've done 350 shows. It's a new band.
You played at Rhythm and Vines last year?
Yeah, we had such fun. And those events are great. And it's, let me tell you, at the age of 60, when you're playing harder than you know, physically harder than you were at 20, it's a fun thing to actually look out at a bunch of 20-year-olds who are screaming and jumping up and down.
Because it's now...
scream.
Well, what's it like? Because now it's music that has transcended the generations.
Yeah, that's right. It's not our music. It just belongs to everyone. Everybody knows it. And yeah, it's just there. It's the backdrop, along with lots of other great stuff.
And what's great is that you get the Legacy Award, but the band in its current form is still together, and still carrying on, and many more years of music into the future as well.
We just intend to keep going. We play every weekend. Yeah, we just meet a couple of the guys. I live down south from Sydney. A couple of the guys that live in the Blue Mountains. We just meet at the airport and go and play somewhere else every weekend.
That's the dream right there, isn't it?
It is.
Jump on the jumbo jet.
Yeah, with your guitar.
Yeah.
No gear. It's all. Everything's always there.
All the roadies are doing all the
no
tuning
roadies,
and
no crew.
Okay. Someone else does the tuning?
No, we do the tuning.
Okay. You still enjoy all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no crew. I do the management. It's completely self-contained. We make our own records for nothing. Sell them at the shows.
Yeah.
Fabulous. It actually works for
It's
the
almost
first time in 100 years.
Because I like playing, you would have seen Rock Band or Guitar Hero, because I can't play musical instruments, but it's almost like you guys are living the dream that you want to live through the game on the console,
Yeah, look, we're very lucky in that stuff is on radio, and we couldn't do it if that wasn't happening.
Constant royalties.
Well, no, just the fact that the different new generations know the song. That's all.
But that must help. The fact that the songs are still constantly played and they'll be on soundtracks all the time or ads or whatever, and so there's that income.
No, surprisingly, royalties from music are very low.
Oh.
Like I did a lot of TV shows, and the royalties for that are like thousands of times higher, because every time they play the TV show, the composer gets paid again anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So it's not about... the last thing about being in a band, as everyone who's in a band knows, is the money. And if it becomes about the money, then you're in big trouble.
Right, that's true. And do you often hear your track being, your songs being covered, when you walk into a pub or something?
Yeah, always.
In a band.
And they're always better than us. No, that's not true.
And with the band's been unaware that you're in the room?
No.
Oh, they know you're there?
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't? Okay. Have you ever gone up and said, actually...
No, that's my song you're playing, that's funny.
Give me the guitar, I'll do it better.
This is how it's done. My God. No, it's great though when you're walking along a beach in the middle of the night in Cairns and there's 50 people around a campfire and they're singing Rain.
Yeah.
You can walk past in the dark.
Yeah.
Think, this is fabulous.
That is cool.
Yeah, it is. Songwriting is the greatest thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, right.
I haven't done it for a long time.
But it's something that you're going to continue to do?
Oh, yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, absolutely. You get songwriting is that mysterious thing and no one knows how it works.
Yeah.
No one knows how to write a hit song, otherwise there'd be millions of hit songs.
That's true.
And you're just waiting for the stuff to descend from the heavens. So yes, I'll always keep writing.
But you wouldn't be in a place now where you'd want to be writing a hit song. You'd just be wanting to surely write something that's true to you and what you feel at the time.
It's a total please yourself thing. No, you can't possibly be running after whatever's happening in music or trying to write hits. And which is why we're in such a great place. We can do whatever we like and no one cares.
Yeah.
So we just do it because we love it, and it's fantastic.
You're going to be in that situation we were just talking about at the Music Awards with Supergroove covering a Dragon track.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure which track yet, but it's bound to be a good E.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. What I'll do is I do want to play Rain, but I'll also, straight after that, play a brand new track from the new album.
Yeah.
Which has this been out? How long has this been out?
It actually came out on the 2nd of September in Australia.
Oh, yes, it's fresh as. It's called Chase the Sun.
Yeah, and the single's called 21, Heart of Gold.
And we'll play that very shortly, but right now I'll play Rain. Todd Hunter has been my guest from Dragon. They've received the Legacy Awards at the Vodafone New Zealand Music Awards last night at a wee ceremony announcing the finalists. Thanks, Todd.
Thank you very much, sir.